Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. Today I'm going to get in there and spray 2 more tanks of 2,4-D. I need to spray 2 tanks a day. That's about the limit I can do. I have, the day job and other stuff that I need to get done as well. So I'm trying to do 2 tanks a day until it's done, if it's ever done. But at some point, everything starts to naturalize, so I won't have to spray at all at some point, or just very, very little. Over here in the North Prairie, I sprayed this, I can't remember, it was probably 4 or 5 days ago. Everything's dying back nice, and my grass is coming in real well. It's got some spots that could use some help, like right in here. But for that, I'm just going to poke in here and there. Different varieties from the main variety that was here. This morning, I pulled all of these weed grasses right here. I don't know, there's maybe 100 chunks, and in each hole that was left I dropped some Indian grass seed, so that'll mix some other seeds in here besides the main seed, which was big blue stem. This also has a lot of perennial rye in it, so hopefully the big blue stem and the Indian grass will take the place over at some point. Something like this. I should have got this one. I'm out of seed. I grab a little baggie full of seed when I go out. I'll have to do this later. This is already going to seed, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. This is foxtail, yellow foxtail. So I just pull it like that, drop some seed along the side, and I try to get the seed at several different layers, like a couple real deep and all the way up until there's just a couple on the surface. It's how you sprinkle them in there. That way they can have it whatever way they want. Whichever ones decide to germinate is the ones that are going to remain there. Yesterday I started a video on this, but that neighbor started weed whacking right at the top there, and you couldn't hear a damn thing, so I just gave up. But the fence used to come right along here, right along this ditch, and the ditch has to go. I'm not sure when he's gonna get to it, but he's got the dozer here, so it could be any day. So as I've explained before, I'm just gonna change this from a V groove or from a ditch to just a very slight groove. Any water that comes down here will just follow it. It doesn't need to be a ditch. I did this long ago when we first cleared this area, and the water now goes through a pipe, the main water. So this is kind of useless. Water does go down it, but very little. It's just what comes off the field here. Got a loud plane there. So this will be gone, and a few dead trees right in this area, I'll have them push those out as well. So all I did was pound in these four new T-posts, and the horses were up there on the dry lot, so while they weren't looking, I snuck in here, disconnected the fence. I had to go around that walnut right here, so it was wide open for a little bit, but just a couple minutes, and I got the fence in before they even crash. Come on. So I got the fence in before they even noticed I was here. I gotta I'm sending this camera back today. Hopefully, I've been trying to build up a couple videos so I can return this thing and not have a big gap in my postings. So I get this ready to go later today if he's ready, which he very well may be. I gotta get that pile right there. There's a pile of stuff in the fire pit, and there's also a pile at the head of the ravine up there. I gotta get those 3 burned today, if possible. Another day in the sun isn't gonna hurt them. But this one kind of needs to go because it's all piled onto a tree stump, and he's going to be pushing that tree stump out. So I should get that, at least that one burned today. So 2 tanks in here. Then I have to run to town and get some. I ran out of 2,4-D. I am out of perennial rye seed, and I am nearly out of indicator dye for spraying. So I gotta run to town for that. Izzy and I will run to town. But for now, I will get back to you on the second tank of this stuff, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, so this area right here has been worked on for a little bit longer than some of the other areas, and you can tell it's mostly grass in here. As the last of these plants die off, the broadleaf stuff, this will be pretty much all grass for at least a couple of years. I need to let the prairie grasses establish well, and like any other perennial, it takes several years. Prairie grass takes 5 years is what pretty much everywhere I'm reading. It takes about 5 years to become fully mature, to have a 10-foot root system and stuff. But judging by the little blue stem up top, yeah, kind of sucks having to spray little flowers and stuff, but it is what it is. This whole area is very degraded, and regardless of whether there's little flowers or not, it needs to be converted back into the prairie that it once was, and these invasive species need to get out of here. I almost have a handle on the garlic mustard. That's one right there. There's much less of it in this area right here because I've worked on this for a bit longer. The areas back in there's areas where there's thousands of garlic mustard all in an area, and it'll take, well, every area will take 3-4 years to get rid of the garlic mustard altogether. Even then, I believe it'll be coming back here and there, and it'll just have to be dealt with as it's encountered. Opie from Brew City Gardener mentioned that he gets the stuff even in the kind of the middle of the big city. So just somebody out taking a hike in a park or whatever can bring the stuff to you. So I think the deer will easily get the seed on their hooves or in their fur and transport fresh garlic mustard to the area here and there. You just have to stay on top of it, and I'm hoping to get to the point where I can just pluck it instead of having to spray it, or just spray little batches. that's my phone. I now have a smartphone for the first time, for about a month now, and having a smartphone in the woods while you're working is pretty annoying. I'm gonna have to start leaving it at home, but I really can't do that. If I were to, like, I don't know, have an accident or something, if I was chainsawing and have an accident, it'd be kind of nice to have it, but you know, having it go off with little messages all day is not really a good thing either, especially if you're nature watching. Like right over there, maybe 100 feet away, is where I found that fawn last year. I was walking through here assessing the area, and it was just laying right next to me. I got that on video. I don't know, I'm really bad at putting links to previous videos because it takes a long time to, you know, track it down and then go in and edit it and, you know, put the link in there. And I'm right at the limit with my time right now. But I believe it has fawn in the title. So if you searched Planet Mojo and fawn, that would probably work. I'm going to have to try that. I'm sure you'd find it. So this area looks pretty thin. I think I sprayed a tank right here because of the massive amount of garlic mustard that I found in here when I first came in here and checked this year. You can see this is all garlic mustard through here. It's everywhere. So once I knock down these, this is a baby tree. I do not want little trees in here either. Once those die back a little bit so I can see what's going on, there will be zillions of little, anywhere from pea size to like not a dinner plate, but a saucer size garlic mustard underneath them. Which if you have the stuff in your woods, it's pretty disgusting to see it. Yeah, look at all that stuff. It's just all through there. It's not as bad as it was. This was just real thick going through here. And I killed off the plants that were giving off seed this year, like this, but these all dropped their seed. This is garlic mustard right here. That's all garlic mustard. It's a whole patch of it through here. I'm not sure if you're seeing this at all, but this is all garlic mustard, and it's all dropped its seed. So I will battle this garlic mustard in this area for a couple years. I can't let it go to seed again next year. Gotta choke off the supply of seed by, well, I'll do it by killing the rosettes. These rosettes will not put off seed this year. They can't. It's a biennial. They will go to seed next year. So if I kill them as a rosette, which is the best way to get rid of any biennial, like bull thistle and stuff like that. If you get it as a rosette, you don't have to worry about the seeds. Yeah, fairly sparse on grass because this had so much garlic mustard here. It was completely shading the ground. I need to get in here. I can't do it today because I used up all my seed already. But tomorrow, when I come in and do my spray tomorrow, I'll start right here, and then I'll poke in some Indian grass and little blue stem and stuff in here. Yeah, this is solid garlic mustard right here. Oh, a couple other little things in there, but nearly solid. Just disgusting. And that's, this all started, they say somebody brought this over, and I'm not sure where it actually came from, but I believe it came from an Asian country somewhere, China, Thailand, who knows. But it's a foreign plant, and somebody brought it over for its culinary attributes and started growing it in their garden. It escaped right away, and the rest is history. And the thing about it is a very poor culinary plant. It doesn't really have any taste. If you were to put the leaves in a salad, it might, add a little bit of a oniony, garlicky taste, but there's an alternative to that. Putting garlic and or a garlic oil or onion in your salad and not destroy millions of acres of woods. Okay, I'm gonna walk up this way. This area is not too bad. Got some garlic mustard there, got it there, and it's all through there. I'll be spraying here tomorrow, so make sure you stop back and watch that. But I want to see what this hill looks like. That had some giant weeds on top of it, and it took me a long time to knock that back this spring. And it's loaded with garlic mustard over on the side here, but that tapers off to, I need to find out what this weed is, or native flower, whatever the hell you want to call it. To me it's a weed. This stuff, it just grows so dense. Don't know what it is though. You can see the garlic mustard that died back. Garlic mustard and other things. So, like all the other areas, there's a giant seed bank here, and I'll just have to keep battling it for a few years until the grasses start winning. Kind of like right in here, the grasses are winning right here. Crash. Thing is crashing so often. I'm going to see if I can send it back tonight. Tonight's the night. I just run out of time every night and forget about it, so I have to remember to get it done tonight. I don't know if any of this is my prairie grass seed. It really doesn't look like it. I think this is smooth brome. I don't know, this might be Timothy. I can see there's bluegrass in there, which would make sense. I'm not 100% sure of what any of this is. It's likely coming from the field here. Well, I know some of this. I tossed pasture seed along this trail, so a lot of it is whatever was in that, which is going to be, I guess fescues and creeping fescue, red fescue, stuff like that. So you can see there's some broadleaf stuff in here, right there, a little bit there, but that's easy to knock back, and at some point there's no seeds for that to grow, and it becomes pretty dense grass with no nasty stuff in it. Then I just gotta kill off areas at a time and switch it over to prairie grasses. Yeah, lots of garlic mustard back through there, up into there. You can see it underneath there. So I'll come right through this area with the first tank tomorrow. And this area is really dense in here, so I got to get in there and knock that back as well. I think this is, geez, I can't even remember. I believe this is still just day 2. I was figuring it would take 5 days to get this done, or 5 days of spraying 2 tanks. Tank takes about 45 minutes, so that's not too bad. Yeah, you can see the transition is pretty interesting. Got the grass going into this stuff that needs to be knocked down, and then grass going into stuff that was already knocked down, and it's pretty bare. And then real soon this will turn into heavy grass just like this. Well, maybe not this year, but it's well along its way. You can see all the grass growing in here. It doesn't take much for it to start looking like this. Most of that'll happen next year. Okay, I really got to get to town. Well, actually, I got to spray glyphosate along the edge of the vineyard there and around the shed. Otherwise, this will look like a ghost farm. You know, the weeds and the grasses and stuff will get 4 feet tall in just a couple weeks. So if you don't stay on top of it, the place looks abandoned real quick. So I got to get that sprayed if I have enough time. Let me see what the time is. I don't. So I'm going to spray 1 tank, and then Izzy and I will head to town and get some supplies. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you want to follow the progress here of this oak savanna restoration, make sure you subscribe and click on the little bell, the update icon, and then you'll receive notice when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.